Well, I wanted to start this video off by saying, Chargers fans, we can do this.
I'm just telling you right now, ain't no way they going to Kansas City and they going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and those boys, okay?
We will not go quietly into the night. We will not lay down for Chiefs fans. We will not lay down for Patrick Mahomes. Take a good look, Chiefs fans. We're coming. We're coming.
I'll see what I believe in.
Nope, it's not a run, it's a fade. And it's Mike Williams!
Yes! Touchdown, Mike Williams! Let's go!
The Chargers just took down the Kansas City Chiefs on the road in Kansas City! Let's freaking go! Good freaking game, Chargers! You did it!
Let's go!
You found a way to beat the odds. Bolt fam all around the world, soak it in.
I guess I believe it. That's all you can say.
Stay frosty and head over to ezmutt.com for the cheapest mutt coins on the market. When I say cheapest, I mean it. We're talking 1 million coins for around $40. Use code DIRECTOR for 5% off. Yo, what up, brothers? It's the Director. Chargers fans, oh, that feeling. The feels, the chills, the feel-goods of that opener today. Oh my God, I had so much fun putting that together this morning, dudes. The Chargers victory Monday after taking down the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. What a week it is to be alive for a Chargers fan, man. That is one of the best games I have seen in a long time. A statement win, and one that Chargers fans like myself will never forget. Before we get into this video too deep, guys, Chargers fans, in the comment section, post some of your favorite moments from the game yesterday where the Chargers were able to overcome the odds and defeat the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. There's a lot of them, man. We're going to go over a lot of them today in this video. Some of the things we can unpack from this game that were so amazing that led to a win in this instance, and maybe some things the Chargers can still clean up. But for the most part, guys, this is going to be a feel-good video, an awesome video to relive the experience of Week 3 in the NFL season, the Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and one of the biggest upsets we've seen so far in the season. Now, before we do get started, guys, this is the last call. We are drawing the winner tomorrow. We are giving away a couple jerseys on the channel, man, starting out with this Antonio Gates jersey. All you got to do to enter for this one is hit up the link in the description, follow the instructions there. Very, very simple to enter, and this one's open up to everybody, my subscribers, my crew members, everybody. Again, thank you so much for all you guys do around here. Hopefully this goes to a good home. And of course, we're not done there yet, man. We also got this signed LaDainian Tomlinson jersey for one of my lucky crew members. All you got to do to enter for this one is be a member of my crew. That's it. Crew members, huge shout out to you guys. You guys have been amazing, and I hope one of you guys has a nice spot on the wall for this LT. And with that, let's get into this one. Before we do, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content. Small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps me out a lot. Let's get into this one and relive the epic victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. Lights, camera, action. The Chargers at Kansas City Chiefs, birth of a rivalry, Week 3 post-game report. A lot to unpack in today's video, man. So much had to happen for the Chargers to pull off this upset, and I honestly, Brandon Staley, this entire coaching staff, the team, the players, everybody with that warrior spirit were able to come together and make that happen, including you, the Bolt fam, man. When we were alive, there was a lot of points in the game where we could have given up. We could have been, you know, sour about what was going on, maybe with the penalties or the game script, or maybe the Chiefs starting to come back, but we didn't. I saw lightning bolts all night long. strong. I'm very proud of you guys in that instance. So let's get things going here with some stat checks. Now, of course, there's a lot to go over in this, guys, so we're just going to go over the surface, and then we'll highlight some of the players individually in a moment. Starting with the battle of the QBs, Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert, two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I would say a lot more people think that Patrick Mahomes is one of those elite tier star quarterbacks in the league, but Justin Herbert, I feel like with this game tonight, or this game yesterday, seriously made a statement that he as well is one of the elite quarterbacks in the league, and he must be taken seriously, helping lead the Chargers to a victory 30-24. 281 yards and 4 touchdowns will certainly help with that, but the big number right here, 0 interceptions. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Patrick Mahomes, 260, 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That also was a big thing that led to this Chargers victory. We really did make Patrick Mahomes bleed real blood. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. And Patrick Mahomes was certainly exposed in this game versus the Chargers defense. Highlighting some of the Chargers rushing here, we had 55 yards on the ground for Austin Eckler. That's like 5 yards a carry. Not too bad. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 100 yards on the ground, as well as 45 for Patrick Mahomes. The Chargers continue to struggle in that area. Receiving, though, man, Mike Williams, 122 and 2 touchdowns. I don't know, man. We got some bold takes about Mike Williams coming up here in the later part of the episode. Leading for the Chiefs was Travis Kelce, 104 yards. I actually did not realize he posted that much yardage, but I do think there was one drive in particular that did lead to that. We did hold down the fort versus Tyreek Hill, though. Only 56 yards, and the Chargers' defensive backcourt continues to impress. And we'll get into some of the individual plays here and the individual players here in just a moment. Let's start out here with the incredible Mike Williams. I'm going to throw out some stats here for you guys, okay? I put this in one of my card art things on Twitter a couple of days ago. This is actually pretty incredible. Mike Williams, tied for first in the league in touchdown receptions, second in the league in yards, and in this game, like we saw, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns, and you can't forget the 2-point conversion that helped lead the Chargers to a victory in this game. Big day for Mike Williams. It seems that if Mike Williams gets a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, the Chargers are going to win in Kansas City. And might I remind you that the Chargers, and more specifically, Justin Herbert, is 2-0 in Kansas City as of right now. That field belongs to Justin Herbert. Now back to Mike Williams. He's starting to look like maybe, possibly a hot take, maybe the Chargers wide receiver 1 in the way that they're utilizing him. I still do believe that Keenan Allen is probably the more talented of the 2 wide receivers, but the Chargers have certainly found a role for Mike Williams on this team to shine. It's kind of funny. It feels like the Mike Williams was just a scheme shift away from being a superstar in this league, and he is starting to break out right now. Want to know how much he might be breaking out for? Now, again, these numbers are very speculative, okay? It's very unlikely that these hold up. But Mike Williams, as of right now, is on pace for almost 1,600 yards and 21 touchdowns. Is that not the guy we were hoping to get in the first round with the 7th overall pick a few years back? Those seem like the numbers you'd want to see out of a first-round pick, and Mike Williams is delivering. What a week for him, man. And I do project Mike Williams to continue to grow in this system, in this scheme that has been catered to him and Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. I feel like Mike Williams is going to find a lot of success this year and hopefully earns that extension with the Chargers by the end of the season. There's been a lot of talk about Devontae Adams. There's been a lot of talk about maybe bringing in some speedy wide receivers. But after seeing the early performance from our wideouts, I think we're in good hands with Mike Williams, some of the most secure hands in the league. Now let's move on to one of the stars in this game that doesn't get enough credit. I know there's a lot of people out there talking about this, but just not enough. The entire internet could be blowing up about Brandon Staley, and it wouldn't be enough for me. Brandon Staley, the gutsy coaching, the invincible man out there, man. He's playing chess, not checkers. One of the most intelligent, football-minded individuals I've ever seen in my life. Some of the plays that he was calling out there, brilliant. Some of the things that he's executing out there, brilliant. I watched a video a couple days ago about why the Chargers are so efficient on 3rd down. You guys want to know why? It seems that the Chargers, they have this, I don't know, pre-snap mantra where Corey Linsley, our center, will turn around and talk to Justin Herbert for just a moment and then turn right back around, and there's really no cadence. He just leans down there and snaps the ball, and it really catches the defense off guard. You got to believe that's something that Brandon Staley has cooked up. And that's just something we're talking about on offense. On defense, this man had a plan for Patrick Mahomes and perfectly executed it on Sunday. One of these quotes in the post presser that really impressed me, he says that he wants to play aggressive but not reckless. Oh! The just few words carry so much wisdom. Aggressive but not reckless. You want to weigh out the pros and cons of every decision in a football game. You want to weigh out the pros and cons of every move you make in chess and every strategy you take in life. And it seems aggressive moves are okay to make. Just don't make stupid moves with a lower, a chance at reward. And Brandon Staley knows how to weigh those outcomes. And we saw it put to the test on Sunday versus Patrick Mahomes, specifically with his defense, his offense as well. I would say actually his offense quite a bit too. We'll get into that in just a second. This is a brilliant, brilliant head coach, and I think the Chargers finally have a head coach for the long run. Brandon Staley has done nothing but impress, and what he did on Sunday absolutely shocked the world. I think the biggest highlight we can all look at is his 4th and 9 decision, which was a 4th and 5 decision, 4th and 4 decision, I do believe, where the Chargers tied up 24-24 late in the game. He says, you know what? The winds are too crazy. Vizcaino missed an extra point earlier. We're not going to put the game in the hands of the kicker. We're going to put the game in the hands of our quarterback. He said that many times in his presser. He trusts Justin Herbert. That's something we lacked so much last season with Anthony Lynn, something that we don't have to experience this year. Having that trust in your franchise quarterback is huge, and Brandon Staley is intelligent enough to understand that, to recognize that. His play calling held up very well versus Kansas City, both offensively and defensively. He lets his quarterback go out there and win the game. I said something in the stream that I thought was awesome. I said something like, this is a poetic moment in football. One of the biggest upsets we could possibly see of the year, and he's putting all his faith in Justin Herbert. That shows a lot of chemistry and understanding of the game and your team. We got to move on, though, man. Brandon Staley, I cannot say enough good things about him. Next up, the Red Zone Resurgence. We talked about Mike Williams and his big day. What about Keenan Allen? What about Austin Eckler? What about Justin Herbert? It feels like the Chargers community, myself included, have definitely been worried about our red zone efficiency for the past couple of weeks for good reason. I feel like the team was shaking off a lot of rust after not playing the preseason. Things were still coming into sync. And honestly, we have to be wide open about this. The Chargers are operating in a brand new scheme, brand new coaching, brand new a lot of things. And it was going to take them maybe a few games to figure this out. After this game on Sunday, my red zone worries are at a very minimum right now. If we can score that many points versus the Chiefs, if we can come back and win versus the Chiefs, we can beat pretty much anybody. So the play calling, in my opinion, the red zone efficiency, in my opinion, top notch. Keenan Allen's going to get open. Mike Williams and company can go off. Eckler can go the distance on a short route. The Chargers, led by Brandon Staley and Joe Lombardi, have the capability to score, and they proved it on Sunday. Very, very nice. Next up, let's talk a little bit about Justin Herbert. Now, we saw his stats at the top of the episode. No turnovers. That is a huge stat for Justin Herbert in this game. You know what helped lead us to this victory? The turnovers on Patrick Mahomes' side of the stat sheet. That is something that you cannot do. And Justin Herbert finally was able to clean everything up and make sure there's no, sketchy throws or anything like that. And he had a perfect game pretty much. Almost 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. Justin Herbert is a big reason why we won this game on Sunday. Again, recognized by Brandon Staley as the best possibility to win, the best opportunity to win going through Justin Herbert, and Justin Herbert executed. Incredible day for him. Despite the hand injury as well. That's where a quarterback earns their moxie, their reputation, the respect among the locker room. You guys saw that nasty hit he took on his hand. He was out there trying to get feeling back in his fingers. Well, guess what? He shook it off. We were all worried because, what's going to happen in this very next play? The very next pass is going to be very telling of what happens. He throws a dart, I think, to Mike Williams, and it's a first down. At that point, I wasn't very worried, and I knew that Justin Herbert was going to be able to push through it. As of right now, it seems like the hand injury isn't a big deal, but in the moment, in a game, that can shake quarterbacks. That can put a dent in their confidence to execute a play. Not Justin Herbert. He held strong. He found a way to move the chains. He found a way to score. And he found a way to extend plays quite a bit, too. I'm not going to lie. The Chargers' offensive line did hold up very well on Sunday. But when it didn't, Justin Herbert was ready to carry the load. We have a franchise quarterback, guys. We got an elite quarterback in the league. We got a top 5 quarterback in the league. I'm actually ready to say it. Some people are going to say, oh, director, you're crazy. You know what? We sat back. We were patient. We were looking at Justin Herbert and watching him develop, seeing if he had a sophomore slump. A lot of people thought that, which I thought was ridiculous. And you know what? The conclusion, even week 3 weeks into the season, I feel like Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback, and he's going to continue to climb. He's coming for Patrick Mahomes' spot, because I believe he's every bit as good as Patrick Mahomes, if not better. If not better. Isn't that crazy to say? The Chargers got themselves a good one at QB. We got to move on from Justin Herbert. Every time we have to move on, it breaks my heart a little bit because I can go on and on and on about these guys. But we got to talk about this Chargers defense. 4 turnovers on one of the best performances that we've ever seen by a Chargers defense in a game where it mattered the most. You guys remember my game preview from a couple of days ago? I talked about how important it would be for the Chargers to generate turnovers and honestly, just to capitalize on opportunities to create a turnover. We saw a lot of, picks dropped in the past, fumbles not recovered by the Chargers. Not in this game. If the ball was floated a little bit too high, somebody was going to be there to intercept it. Let's talk a little bit about Asante Samuel Jr., who's been having a crazy rookie season. 2 interceptions on the year, plenty of passes defended. He's out here making big plays, and he's a rookie. I think I saw a stat that Patrick Mahomes had never been intercepted by a rookie. How crazy is that? Not until Asante Samuel arrived, and he's starting to shape up as one of the Chargers' best cornerbacks on the roster. Very, very big day for Asante Samuel and the defensive backs of the Chargers. We'll get a little bit more into the other guys here in a second, too. Asante Samuel, great second-round pick for the Chargers. This is also evidence to me that Staley's scheme is starting to take form. Some big things we saw from the Los Angeles Rams last season. Lots and lots and lots of pressure. I think a lot of that has to do with how efficient Aaron Donald is. But turnovers on turnovers. Hard to convert on third downs, which is something that Patrick Mahomes struggled with on Sunday too. Patrick Mahomes struggled to convert third downs, struggled to score in the end zone. I think they had 3 drives back to back result in turnovers. I feel like this is the mastermind of Brandon Staley, putting these playmakers in areas where they can succeed and make a big play, and then the players good enough, skilled enough to execute. The Chargers defense is starting to take form. What are we going to look back on this week at the end of the season? I think Chargers fans might be thinking, we had no idea how good this defense was going to be. I think a lot of us had expectations for it to improve, but we didn't expect how good it was going to be. I think by the end of the season, the Chargers defense could be among the elite as well. A lot of that has to do with Brandon Staley, but the Chargers players on defense had to execute to make that happen. And they're doing a great job at that, man. Asante Samuel's a star. We got to talk about more guys too. Joey Bosa. Now, some people might say Joey Bosa had an off day. Joey Bosa's been having an off season. Well, guess what Joey Bosa did in this game? I think something like 10 pressures. I think maybe even more, but I think 10 pressures and a sack. He was consistently in the face of Patrick Mahomes. I feel like there was a plan to contain Patrick Mahomes in the second half as well. You guys remember in the first half, more particularly the first quarter, Patrick Mahomes was running around everywhere. And then all of a sudden, I feel like the players shifted positions, shifted formations. Something happened where Patrick Mahomes couldn't escape the pocket as often. Now, I'm no football coach and I'm no football analyst, but I'll tell you that that's got to do with something with the scheme, does it not? And of course, Joey Bosa has to hold up in order for that to work. 10 pressures is incredible. I think it's among the best in his career on Sunday. And you know what? Joey Bosa, a lot of us were worried in the live stream. He went off the field. He was dealing with an injury. He showed that warrior spirit that Brandon Staley was talking about. He came right back on and made a big impact for this game. And I actually have to talk a little bit about Derwin James as well. I almost forgot to grab a graphic for him too. Actually, I did. Derwin James, dislocated shoulder. Oof, you guys know how much that hurts? I don't know if I've ever dislocated a shoulder, but I've dislocated my knee a couple of times. That sucks. That sucks so hard. But you know what? A lot of the times you can pop that sucker back in there and be just fine. They say you can be just fine, but there's kind of like this numbness to it, kind of this like unsteadiness to it that maybe can re-injure when you get a dislocation, right? Derwin James knew how important he was in that drive, in particular in that game. And he got that sucker popped back in. He came right back out on the field. And when Derwin James was off the field, Travis Kelce was marching down with a lot of ease, very easily. And it was really apparent how important Derwin James is to this defense. He comes back after the injury in the locker room, and guess what? The Chargers make a stop. The Chargers execute. Derwin James is a big, big part of this defense, and we're lucky that he was able to hang in there and help the Chargers clutch this one out. A couple more guys I do have to mention here, guys. Let's take a look at Alohi Gilman. Seizes the opportunity to win the game. Yes, that's one of the biggest plays in the game, getting that interception, letting the Chargers go hit that game-winning touchdown. Very, very big plays by Alohi Gilman. You guys got to remember, Alohi Gilman, rookie last season, hasn't been giving a lot of opportunities to play out deep, certainly not in Anthony Lynn's system. In this system, we see a lot of Derwin James in the box, Alohi Gilman up top. And Alohi Gilman, when his number was called, it was time to make a play, he executed. So big, big shout-out to Alohi Gilman. Matter of fact, I think at that point in the stream, we're saying in honor of Alohi Gilman, we're going to call us the Bolt Ohana for the evening, which if you guys don't know means family. Thank you, Lilo and Stitch. Big plays by Alohi Gilman. Last couple of shout-outs for me. Mike Davis, a couple fumble recoveries, and Trevon Campbell, the big hitting cornerback on this team, generating a couple of fumbles. That's pretty big. Coach Staley said something about playing him in the star position in this particular game. Holy cow, did that work. Brandon Staley knows this team inside and out, man. Inside and out. Very, very big game. Now, to wrap this video up, what are some things that the Chargers can continue to improve on, especially before we go play the Las Vegas Raiders? Now, of course, the Chargers' run defense, I would say, is a work in progress. But this is something I said a lot during the stream yesterday as well. Brandon Staley seems to have this mantra of let them have, you know, the 3, 4, 5 yard runs. Let them take that, but do not give up the big play. And that is a huge part of the reason why the Chargers won on Sunday. Patrick Mahomes, really known for those big plays, the no-look passes, the scrambles, stuff like that, the big plays for a touchdown. The Chargers didn't really allow that. They made them work hard for every single score. So maybe there is some method to this madness. Does it mean the Chargers can't improve on that front of the run defense? No, they certainly could improve. But at the moment, it's working. And if it worked against the Chiefs, I got to give it another shot, right? And we got to be a little more patient with how the coaching staff adjusts the run defense. That's just my take on it. But it is something the Chargers do need to address. The penalties. Now, the penalties in this game, a lot less severe than last week. We can all admit that. But there are things the Chargers need to clean up. How many times this year have we been called in an illegal shift that took away a touchdown? That's something big. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Chargers fans know exactly what I'm talking about. That needs to be improved. And lastly, I want to talk a little bit about the kicking game. Tristan Vizcaino did miss the extra point. 2 extra points, as a matter of fact, if I do believe. That's something. This is a week where I'm going to give him a pass. I know players shouldn't really get a pass in any situation, but there was a lot of wind, guys. I feel like that had something to do with the last decision, going for it on 4th and 4 and then 4th and 9. That wind was going to be very, very difficult to score with, right? So in this instance, I'm not going to bag on Vizcaino too hard, but that still is something he needs to adjust for and try and convert. Still, the jury's still out for me and Vizcaino. He has potential, but we got to wait and see. It's definitely a wait and see situation for me. Well, guys, that's going to do it. I hope you guys really enjoyed that mantra at the beginning. I went hunting for Chargers clips and fans reacting to the game, and honestly, it turned out awesome. And that really speaks to the energy and the passion and the happiness, the excitement of the Chargers fans on Sunday. And I would like you guys to keep it going in the comment section below. Let me know, again, some of your favorite moments from this game. Maybe bring up some stuff that I didn't bring up in this video today. Austin Eckler had an awesome score, too. There's a lot of things that we could cover, but only so much time in the world, right? Soak it in, Chargers fans. Soak it in, Bull fam. The Chargers pulled off one of the most entertaining and awesome upsets we've seen in a long time and made a statement in this game. The Chargers are to be taken seriously. And the Chargers have every shot in the world at making the playoffs and pretty soon, I believe, a Super Bowl. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you did enjoy this content, hit us up with a like and sub on your way out. This has been The Director. We'll see you next time, and as always, bolt up and stay frosty.